All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on this beautiful planet. Welcome to the Inner Circle Live pre-New York session. I'm your host for this morning's session, Benny Allen, along with my awesome partner, Mr. Ryan Carthage. And we're definitely happy and grateful for each and every one of you being here with us this morning as we take a look at the technicals and the fundamentals to see what we can take advantage of in this Forex market. So without further ado, let's make sure that we turn off any and all distractions, grab a pen and paper, take lots of notes. And let's make sure that we participate and engage. If you all are all set and ready to go on this beautiful Friday, do me a favor, drop me a one in the chat. Let me know that you're here with me. You can hear me loud and clear, that we are ready to go. All right, I got the ones coming in. I appreciate it, Kay and Joy. So, hey, let's make sure that we start with a strong foundation, taking massive action, accepting all possible losses before entering a trade, preparing you for any outcome. Let's make sure that we center ourselves in body, mind, and spirit, assuring a balanced approach to trading, and that we trust in our education, strategy, trading skills, and intuition. And we always want to imagine our trades successfully materializing, and that we obey our trading strategy, avoiding decisions based on greed or fear. And let's make sure that we are never, ever looking back or stopping once our trade has commenced, right? So, busy week in the markets. We got news right out the gate this morning. Bank of Japan, right, holds rates as expected. The Bank of Japan unanimously retained its key short-term interest rate at around 0.25% during its September meeting, keeping it at the highest level since 2008. In line with market consensus, Friday's decision underscored that the central bank was not in a rush to lift rates further, raising them twice this year in March and July, right? So Ueda came off, he actually came off kind of dovish, right? So any idea, right, of any idea of a big move, right, in regards to those rate hikes out of Japan doesn't seem like it's coming, right? I was reading some things this morning where it said Japan's economy showing a moderate recovery with some weakness in exports, housing, and public investment. And that as far as corporate profits in Japan, business investment is rising due to improving profits. In regards to inflation, excluding fresh food, it has been increasing by 2.5% to 3%, driven by rising services and wage growth. Uh, Japan's economy is expected to grow above its potential, with inflation gradually rising through 2025. And as far as risk, right, this is all from their statement, and I'll post my notes inside the community. So this is coming from their rate statement. High uncertainties remain, especially regarding overseas economies, commodity prices, and domestic wage behavior, right? So moving along with some caution, like I said. So the idea that was early on that we were going to see um, major hikes a lot sooner than later doesn't seem to be quite the case. So they maintain their short-term interest rate. Also this morning, UK retail sales unexpectedly rise 1%, right? So jumped 1% month over month in August 2024, following an upwardly revised 0.7% rise in July, right? So last report was revised upward. Now we've got a 1% jump this month. So rise in July and well above forecast of 0.4%, right? So that's huge, right? Month over month, 1%, the forecast is 0.4%. Some supermarkets and clothing retailers reported a boost because of warmer weather and the end of season sales. Sales soared 1.8% in food stores, and those at non-food increased 0.6%, while the amount spent online remained flat. Considering the 3 months to August, retail sales increased 1.2% year on year. Retail sales jumped 2.5%, the most since February 2022, after an upwardly revised 1.5% gain in July and above forecast of 1.4%. So good news there out of the UK. Folks out there spending. Stocks for in Europe and lower on Friday. Kick off. Business move, France business move, stable in September. That's good. German producer food prices dropped less than expected. So keep an eye on that. That's gauging with inflation. China held the LPRA steady despite the cut. So we have to keep to have to read more into that. Brent set for second weekly gain. So we'll take a look at oil. What else is coming up for us today on Friday? We've got 8:15. We've got Bank of Canada Governor Macklin speaking. I'm not sure what that's going to be about today. We also have core retail sales for Canada, right? So we can see some little bit of movement, as we know we have been bearish on the CAD. Dollar index. Taking a look and let's see what they have to say there. Dollar index held its recent decline around 100.6 on Friday, hovering near a 14-month low and facing pressure from a rally in risk assets. Right? We know all about that. We know that language. We know what they're talking about. As the Federal Reserve's jumbo rate cut raised the likelihood for a soft landing for the U.S. economy. On Friday, okay, on Wednesday, the Fed delivered an outsized 50 basis point rate cut for its reduction in 4 years. For its first reduction in 4 years, the central bank indicated confidence that inflation is moving sustainably towards 2% and moved to prevent a slowdown in the labor market. Meanwhile, Fed Chair Powell said the central bank is not in a rush to ease policy and that half percentage point cuts are not the new pace. The dollar also weakened on concerns that other major central banks could ease policy less aggressively, right? So we talk about interest rate differentials, right? So we just came down to 5. The Bank of England held at 5, right? So while the People's Bank of China unexpectedly kept the lending rates unchanged, right? So we looked at that this morning on the front cover. Trading Economics, the Bank of Japan also kept its policy rate unchanged and maintained its solid economic outlook, which we just talked about. So dollar facing some pressure, right? Looking like more and more we're going to have that soft landing, right? Which kind of flies in the face with some political views here in the United States right now. Things are looking good, right? We're getting a rally in the stock market, move over to the quant. Take a look at the risk gauges, right? Weekly, mixed, back and forth, monthly, just beyond mixed, moving towards that risk on, and daily, right? Coming out of yesterday, risk on, right? Risk on. So look to trade some of those risk on assets to the upside, right? So you can see here, bears, Swiss franc, the yen, right? Coming off their rate decision, and the fact that if we're risk on, the yen is a safe haven. We know about the dollar facing pressure. Aussie, Euro, CAD, NZD, gold, XPX 500, right? All looking fairly bullish. Ryan, good morning, sir. How are you? Oh, hold on. Let me move you over. There we go.
Good morning, bro. I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
Oh, man, I'm doing great. It's Friday.
It is Friday, man.
Yep. End of a busy week, man. Talk to me about fundamentals. Anything out there? Went back on
My
mute.
bad.
That's all right.
No, my eyes are on Japan, man. Um, and watching that. So just looking for continued moves to the upside, at least in the short term for the yen, and seeing how long this risk on sentiment lives.
For sure, right? We are definitely rallying, isn't it? So everybody, technically, right? Think about it in your mind, right? Before you just go to the charts. Technically, we saw that yen, right, has strengthened, and you know we saw declines, right, uh, against the yen. But then we said, hey, looking at those higher time frames, we were coming into some key support levels. We were starting to form those swing lows on the daily, and ever since then, fundamentals, everything seems to fall in line with what we saw technically. And we're seeing yen weakness again, and we're seeing currencies move against the yen, right? Pretty strongly. So we'll take a look at that. So I'm with you on that one, Ryan. Continuing to keep an eye on the yen, especially since they held rates and they seem, you know, I would say leaning towards the other side in regards to as far as how aggressive they're going to be in raising rates in the future. So,
Yeah, yeah. You
mhm,
know, with them saying, you know, they're not in a rush to continue making moves. It kind of falls in line with historically they've taken their time. You know what I mean?
mhm,
Um, we know that it'll happen, but it'll be a little bit slower than people initially thought after that previous move. So, um, yeah. So I'm interested to see, especially with inflation ticking up a little bit
yep,
for the fourth straight month, right? Seeing how that, along with um, the wage growth,
mhm,
continues to fall in line. Um, Seeing how long that patience stays.
yep, yeah, yeah. I'm interested to see it too. You know, they deemed their inflation is gradually. They see it gradually rising through 2025. So we'll see if that remains the case.
Yeah,
You know,
did they say something along the line of they'll be kind of at the middle of their range by 2026 or something like that?
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll see. So maybe, hey, this was the major low. We'll see what happens. I'm interested to see what happens with the let's look at the positioning now coming out of uh last week with the COT. So we long was at 69.63% for the yen. Let me see. Right. So it changed, right? 5.2% increase to the long side, right? So we'll take a snapshot of that to see uh what happens if there's any type of shift, being that they've come out with this rate statement and maintained rates, right? So we'll see what happens with that. That's going to be interesting to see if there's any type of shift on the CLT reports regarding that yet. All right. So look, moving over to the DXY. Right. So we found that low. We're bouncing right back at that level, right? So we double topped. We came right back to the bottom of that range. We got a little bit of activity to the upside with the dollar coming into today, but we will see how it goes, right? But it is the dollar is indeed facing pressure. We come back into the lows, right? So we'll see. We'll continue to follow the fundamentals to see if there's anything that's going to drive that price back up, at least in the short term. Any questions on the fundamentals?
I
Thoughts?
do. I
Yep.
got two questions.
Yeah. What's up?
First question is in regards to an article that I had posted in the community in regards to the potential strikes at the ports, the East Coast ports. And then the second one is the concerns with Israel, and I can't say this country name, so I'm not even gonna say it. Start with an H. Habaza below.
No, that's not a country.
Oh, it's
That's Hezbollah. That's not a country. You're talking about like they struck in Lebanon, right?
Lebanon. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just
Mm-hmm.
looking at the article because I didn't know if it was the camp name or the town or the country name.
No, I know you be going through a ton of articles in the morning, so which is a good thing. And overnight, I know you go through them pretty fast. So I don't, Ryan. I get your thoughts on this, but the market seems to be shrugging all that off right now. In
Nobody's
regards to
even
what's going on.
talking about it, man.
Yeah, like in regards to the markets, you know, uh, of course on the geopolitical front they're talking about it, but as far as its impact on the markets, I don't see anybody really they're
No,
reporting it. They're reporting it, but I don't see where it's like, like it doesn't seem to be bothering anybody right now, in regards to like I say, the financial markets.
no, and so both sides basically said they're going to continue to retaliate against each other, which will lead to an increased regional risk of a regional war, and they're okay with that.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. So right now, Joy, I don't know. It doesn't seem to be impacting the market at all. Right? I'm pretty sure there's some way to find something.
Well, the only
Um,
reason why I had asked about Israel because Bloomberg had brought it up last week, and
hmm
I
Yeah, they're
didn't.
reporting on it. They're definitely
Yeah.
reporting on it.
So now, well, a couple of artists was coming out. I'm like, okay, is this something that's going to be a growing concern? Is it going to affect, far as gasoline, and then far as the other part with me doing the reading with the imports, is that going to affect the transportation of? Well, it did say transportation of electronics and stuff like that. So I was trying to see if if they worked hand in hand, or if it would affect the stocks as far as the imports
Yeah,
and gas.
it could, because it's shaping up for that strike to be kind of like it's to be pretty. It depends on how long, right? But that's like 10 of our busiest ports, right? For that strike. So I don't know. I guess it depends on imports will definitely be impacted. That's gonna impact billions of dollars in trade. If they don't get it under wraps quick. Because it's almost uh with, with those being like the 10 busiest, that's like half of the monthly imports. What I was reading on that too, right? Could be impacted. It's billions and billions and billions of dollars. You know, but here's the thing: if they go on strike, we got to remember now, right, Joy? They've got plans and strategies because of, remember what happened with COVID, right? So they've got contingency plans and things like that to where it could probably lessen the impact, you know, um, as opposed to if COVID had never happened and you didn't have those plans in place. So I don't know, how severe it could be when they try to counteract everything with the plans that they've developed since COVID. So we'll see. But it definitely is it. Should we be concerned about it? Yeah, companies can be impacted. So we'll see. We'll let it all play out. See what
For
happens.
sure. For sure. I'll put it in like how I put in consideration when the accident with the bridge at the last port. We really didn't do nothing. So I was just, I don't know, I guess when I seen, because a lot of the techs is growing, and when I seen they was importing technology and stuff like that, and then
Yeah,
with a lot of the geopolitical that was going on, if in the combination of the two, if it will affect anything.
yeah. I would be more. I'll tell you this though. Right now. I would be more in the short term. I would be more concerned, like Ryan said, unless that war starts to accelerate at a faster pace, and it becomes less isolated, more widespread. In the short term, I would be concerned, especially like the stocks and things like that. I would be concerned with the potential strike at the ports. So we shall see. Great questions. Great question. Joy
Unfortunately,
just
I agree with that statement.
no, I know, right? I know. So hopefully they can pull it together and figure it out. So that's where we are. Any other questions? No. All right. So we're gonna take a look at commodities to start this Friday because gold 2,600. Drop some sevens in the chat. This run has hit the extension. We've been waiting on that for quite some time. So congratulations, everybody. If you've been trading that to the long side, maybe you're something long term with maybe you're not necessarily trading gold versus the dollar. Maybe you're trading a gold ETF or something like that. But hey, at the end of the day, you are in the right direction. So congratulations, right? If you are taking that trade, even if you're in a demo and you're riding it out or however, right? Hey, let's celebrate getting the direction right. On gold coming into 2024, bullish gold because we're in interest rate cutting environments and we can see that rates are starting to get cut, right? Especially recently with the cut 50 basis point cut coming out of the Fed. So gold, we are still long. We have hit a 4-hour extension. If we roll on up to the daily chart, check to see where we are, right? We are definitely approaching. Let me clean this up. Okay, that's the only thing we're working in the same workspace. Right. So there's that 4-hour, and we're approaching a daily at 26.37, right? So those are right in the same range. So that has been a really good move for the Forex trader, right? It's a long swing, hit that 2600 number, headed most likely to that 2637, that daily D extension now. Any questions on gold? No?
No, sir. Great work on that, bro.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. And so that's where we are there. Right. And so I was tracking that on the 4-hour. That is still pushing long. There, so gotta come back in.
It is sitting in the weekly's 80-20.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. So that means, right? So we'll most likely hit that daily D extension, and then we'll see, because we'll get at some point we're gonna get a correction. We know that. So thanks for the heads up on that one. The weekly 80-20. But it is running. Right? It is running. So that is gold. We got a hand raised. Yes. Question. Got a hand raised. Maybe that's an accident. All right. Oil. Right. Moved up. Right. Hit that weekly resistance. So this 80-20, right? Technically played out. We're tailing off a bit now. But we came up to that 382 mark in that weekly resistance level and we turned over, right? So nice crown action that we got. But here's that 80-20 zone, and we got to move up on oil, right? And so we'll take a look at crude. And futures traded around 70.8 per barrel on Friday, poised for a second consecutive weekly gain driven by demand optimism and potential supply risk amid rising Middle East tension. Joy, there you go with that one, right? So we talk about oil, right? The war matters, right? And the attacks matter. Reports indicate that the U.S. refineries are planning their lightest maintenance in 3 years, likely boosting oil demand in the coming months. This follows the Federal Reserve's larger than expected rate cut, which could stimulate economic activity and further improve the outlook for U.S. fuel consumption. At the same time, fears of a broader Middle East conflict disrupting oil supplies are supporting oil prices as Israel advances towards the Lebanon border, raising concerns about Iran's involvement. A major oil producer, oil also benefited from reduced Libyan production and exports, along with a larger than expected drawdown in U.S. crude inventories last Wednesday. That's a lot to unpack, right? Lots going on. So oil made the move up. We'll see, right? Because we've come right back into this past support becoming future resistance, which we had identified, but we've worked our way up there. So we'll see if this is going to create a higher low and continue higher, or if we're going to turn over from there. right? Oil's been super back and forth. Hey, that crown right on silver. If you took advantage of that trade, we are headed to that D extension, that D King's crown at the 61.8. Left tip, right tip, gone. Right? Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Headed towards that daily resistance level and then on to that D extension. And this is on a daily chart, right? So this is running pretty good. That's a huge move in silver. So hopefully some of you have taken advantage of that. I am going to drop some sevens in the chat for the Forex trade room, right? Because we were right on the money with that setup. So not sure if anybody took advantage of it, but it was out there to be had. Nat Gas, my man Tyrone, Joy, right? Reading those articles, posting those notes on that gas, right? So it's moving funny as always, as it did right here before, right? Got that same type of price action, but it has been creeping its way to the upside. So we'll see if we can come into that 4-hour D extension eventually, right? Moving a little sideways right now. So great job on that, everybody, as it has continued to trend higher. That's a 4-hour chart. So we'll see if it can maintain itself. And then this is the GDX, which is a gold ETF, right? That has been running to the upside, struggling a little bit there, but for the most part has been moving long, right? So that's that there with commodities. Second play didn't activate, but you collected 100 pips. Hey, we'll take it. We'll take it. All right. Moving on down to taking a look at these indices. Right. S&P, right? We know we were risk on. We're on the daily, right? We're sitting pretty high, right? We'll see what happens when the market opens. See if we want to push higher. But you guys will see pushing all-time highs, right? Continuing to run. What a recovery. Okay, so that's your S&P. Look at your US 30. Gone. Continue to push higher, right? We're getting a bit extended. Getting a bit extended, right? So just keep that in mind, right? We'll see what happens how we close out on Friday there. Okay, but US 30 is still bullish. See if we can push higher. See if we can push higher. NASDAQ 100. This is your daily look, right? So you can see all of them are stochastics, right? Kind of hanging up there, right? But we are definitely overbought right now on the daily time. Okay, definitely overbought. Here's a resistance level um, at 19,950 on that. So coming into some highs, interested to see how the market's. Okay, that's the Nas. Okay, let's look at the Nikkei running off the lows. Looking pretty good there. So let's go on down, right? Look at that 4-hour. See where we are in regards to the fib sequence. Moving. That looks good. Markets are hot right now. Okay, that's what a 50 basis point cut will do. Okay. All right. So that's where we are. Kind of footsie, right? Still dancing around, right? Not as clean there. Okay. A UK 100. So that one's definitely not my favorite right now. We gotta get that trending. What the Russell is though, right? That's been a good move for us, right? Put some sevens in the chat on that Russell, right? We called that one early. Looking for that U-turn. Looking good, right? See if we can continue to make moves towards the D extension on that. All right. So right now we're still risk on. We're up there though, right? It's a daily chart. We're up there. All right. So let's see how we close out the week in the markets. See if it wants to take a breather, pull back a little bit, or if we're just gonna open like gangbusters and keep running. Should German 30, right? Right, kind of at a pause, right? Overextended on all of these, right? Got a slight pullback. Wonder if that one's gonna push higher as we open the markets on a Friday. So we'll see. We'll see how markets open. Here's that SMH, right? This is our semiconductor ETF. Still pushing long. Beautiful recovery. We got the 80-20. We got the deep retracement in the buy zone. This one gave us everything that we want, right? Moving long. So we'll see if we can continue to see the tech rally. Let's take a look at the spiders, right? Look at the sector breakdown, right? Look at this XLK, the technology. Ryan, kudos to Ryan, right? Took that XLK trade, is up nicely, driving Ryan some sevens in the chat. We're celebrating this morning, everybody. Right?
Yes, sir. I think it was I think it was Jeremy that gave me a heads up on it. Jeremy or
Yeah.
Benny on
Shout out,
yeah.
shout out to my man Jeremy, right? That tech sector rally, right? So look how it all comes together. So we're thinking individual stocks, Nvidia, AMD, Broadcom, things like that. All those good companies in the tech sector. But then also, right, we've got the ETF, 2.97%, right? So let's break that down. Microsoft, Nvidia, Apple, Broadcom, right? AMD Advanced Micro Devices, or like Oracle, CRM Salesforce, right? So really, really good work, right? Got our eyes on the market moving in the direction that we needed to, right? Yeah. So we talked about this, didn't we? Right? When we came into the week talking about what can improve, right? What did we say? Rate cuts, typically consumer discretionary, the numbers will move to the upside. We just talked about that, right? Look what happened, right? Look at the increase. Amazon, Tesla, Home Depot, those rates come down. Borrowing money becomes a lot less expensive, right? That's how it goes, right? So we saw it. We got it. We said, hey, look out for that. So that was another area that improved, right, by over 2%. Okay. So yeah, pretty good, right? We got real estate that was down a bit, but real estate had been on the run, right? That had been on the run. So we got a correction there. Consumer staples down a bit and utilities, right? So that is looking pretty good. So we can move on and take a look at right. Let's look at it on the charts technically to see the move, right? Look at uh the financial sector, right? Still moving higher, right? This level here I never put in, right? Put that in. We're running. There was another low, swing low there. I didn't trade this one individually. That's a good move though, right? Two candles to the left, two candles to the right. There's your move to the upside. Right? Stochastic still in the buy zone, right? So we see the impacts, right? Interest rates coming down, seeing the rallies. Look at this. Right? Nice move up. Nice move up, right? For those who don't know, your XLI, right? That's your industrials, 1.72%, right? Benny, what's all in what's regarded as industrial? G Aerospace, Caterpillar, Uber, Union Pacific, Honeywell, RTX, right? Lockheed Martin. Okay. All right. So industrials moving up, seeing an improvement. Okay. Uh Here's this XLK. Okay, on the daily, look at it on the 4. swinging. See if we can continue that rally. Okay. Here's your XLY. Look at that. Continuing to accelerate to the upside. Benny, what's XLY? Let's go to the site. Consumer discretionary, right? Just talked about that. Right? So you go back and forth. Now we know that that's moving up. So, hey, we can look at the different holdings, right? Again, Amazon, Tesla, Home Depot, right? Want to go over that over and over again so you guys can see like you have access to all of this information. All of this stuff is tradable, right? Think about that. Think about that. All of it's tradable. Places we go every day, companies that produce things that we use every day, right? I'm just fascinated, right, that you can see it all from a chart. You can see it all from a chart, right? We saw that utilities were down, right? We've got a high, right? There on the daily that'll form, right? So this must be the high. I can't. Yeah, high 73, 79.38. Yep. So at the close of the day, this will be high there. Okay. So utilities topping out a bit. All right. Stochastic in the sell zone. That may be due for that move to the downside, a further move to the downside. All right. Any questions on how we go about that?
No, sir.
Right. So we all have access to it. We don't have to make it rocket science, do it. We do not. We do not. All right. So let's jump in. I want to take a look at because we talked about these years they made that decision, held rates, bang, right? Look at that. Right. Looking good, everybody. Looking good. I'm gonna wear this seven. I'm gonna wear these sevens out. I'm gonna wear them out on this Friday. Moving to the upside. Okay. Beautiful swing, right? Beautiful swing. Moving long. Okay. There we go. That's overextended now, right? 4 hours overextended. 1 hour is still running to the upside. Make a smaller wave. We've got room to go. Right? Look for corrections and continuations, right? The market stay risk on. We know that Aussie typically benefits for that. We know domestically what's going on with the Australian dollar. That's creating that strength. So staying risk on, right? We're going to continue to ride that to the upside. We're going to continue to ride that to the upside. Come in, take a look at the pound yen. Okay. Pound head held rates, right? Long. Beautiful move. Euro yen. Long. Joy, you said the GJ activated. Congrats. Right? Congrats. Sevens all day. We celebrate in this group. Right? I don't care if you're trading small, trading large, trading in the demo. Right? When you consider in this market, most people can't get the direction right. Right? I'd say we're doing okay. Right? Long off the lows. See if we can get to that next resistance level. All right, here we are on the one running long, right? The extension is at that next resistance level. That's been a beautiful, beautiful move so far, right? So even off this level here, we know that's a Euro yen, big mover, almost 250 pips. And we've got some room to go, right? Okay. May not trade all of them. May not trade all of them. That's okay. Right? Let's see what's going on with this New Zealand dollar and the yen. Long. Right? It's like stealing, everybody. It's like stealing, right? Here's your low. All right? We'll catch these pips and keep it moving. Okay? Look, 80-20 move, then we've got the swing. It's amazing, isn't it? Bang. Above the cloud. Looking good. Just took out a recent high there. Above the 50. Tested to 200. Held. Pushing long. Let's see what this dollar yen is looking like on this dollar. What do we have going on? Oh, two to the left, two to the right. Long. Look at that wick on that second candle. I think that was a good sign. Long. We had moved down, right? We said, hey, we're coming into these lows, right? Might be due for a correction. Gone. That pretty much double bottom there, based on that wick didn't close below. Right? And it's a W if I've never seen one. Look at that. Long. UJ pivot point was 142.34. That's right in that area too, right? Because that's right, 142.2 I see right there. So 130. On it, right? This is good work, everybody. This is good work. What's Bitcoin doing, right? We got a weak dollar. We saw some improvement in Bitcoin lately. What we doing, right? Moving topside, right? That's still pushing off the lows. Look at that. Bang. We got another low here, right? Running long. Let's look at our Aussie CAD play. How's that progressing, right? Moving sideways, bit, but still moving in our direction, right? We've gotten a little range bound. That one's still moving pretty good. All right, we got to break out of that range now, though. We need to break out on this Aussie CAD. Looking pretty strong, everybody. Looking pretty strong, right? Let's look at our CAD here, right? We got a little bounce in that oil price. But even though, right, that CAD has been weak, this is telling the tale about this yen and what people are thinking about it right now. Look at this long move. Long. So even with a dollar that has been weak, a CAD that has been fairly weak, right, recently, we're still getting it to move long against this yen. Right. So it tells us that was the right move. Isn't that amazing? And we see the UJ like that as well.
I ain't gonna even lie. I had an order and I deleted it because I didn't trust. I wanted
The
to wait till
cat.
after the CAD news.
Yep. 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 I was iffy on that cat and that dollar, right? Because they're weak. But this just tells you like what the sentiment is on this yen right
Yeah, because that dollar CAD just it's like it's stuck. So I'm like,
now. Yep. 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 And it's stuck because they haven't been the strongest currencies, right? So we know anytime you get two weak currencies, you can tend to get whipsawed and stuck sideways. Anytime you have, two strong currencies against pinned against each other, they can get stuck sideways, right? You get whipsawed around, but you can see, right, how that yen strength has tailed off, right? Especially based on them holding rates, right? Swissy yen. Mm. All right. That's beautiful price action, people. Beautiful price action. This is indeed a happy Friday. That's an 80-20. That's going to go through all three TP levels. All right. We've already smashed through two. Joy, I'm just scared of the Swiss yen. Yeah, that Swissy, that Swissy can get on your nerves sometimes, right? Because what the S&B, you know, can do. But this run back, right? So the way down was good. Now we're running back to the upside. So let's continue to focus on those higher time frame levels, that daily, those swing lows and swing highs. Get a quick check on the fundamentals when we see it coming into those levels, whether it's bullish or bearish. And let's continue to make plays, right? Use those lower time frame fibs to add to positions and things like that, right? As these trades make their run either to the upside or to the downside. All right. So those are your yen crosses. Looking really, really good there, right? Let's take a look at this Aussie dollar. All right. So this moving sideways kind of, hey, we saw that with the Aussie CAD. Now the Aussie dollar, we've got that sideways movement, right? But all in all, right, still working bullish. We need to break out there. So Aussie dollar, Aussie CAD looks the same, right? We've got a nice C to D push, but now we're stalling. Price needs to make a decision, right? Whether it wants to pull back or break through the top of this range, right? Got a kind of flag situation setting up there. So let's continue to follow the narrative, right? We've pushed into some highs. Okay. How long do we want to stay up there before we see a correction? Okay. Overall, we are moving long, right? We're doing a really good job of reading the price action on these charts, everybody. We're doing a good job. Okay. Now, you might not have the patience yet, right, to hang in your trades. You might not even have all the confidence you need yet to take the trade, right? But just keep working. Keep working. All right. Keep working. Let's look at this Euro Aussie. It's made its move back down. Right. So we hit that TP1 and then we corrected. But we could see what happened, right? Came into our high price and we've been moving back down. So we'll continue to watch this one, let it play out. Maybe we get this push back down to support. We will see. We shall see. Euro CAD. Pushing up into some highs, right? Kind of stalling a bit, right? Maybe we triple top there, right? But we're definitely moving to the upside. We're way overbought. We're at 98%. So this will be a good one to watch. Continue to watch the oil prices and see what happens, right? We read about, right, how that can all be impacted by the Middle East. There's a lot of things to unpack, like I said, with what's going on with oil right now, several different angles. Let's continue to keep an eye on it, right? We've got Canadian is right. Yeah, Canadian dollar retail sales, core retail sales coming out of Canada today. So let's see. But this one is approaching, right? We wicked out here, but we can see where we closed below this level. So I'm thinking, right, that triple top type pattern. This level seems to be an issue at 151.75 level on this Euro CAD. So we'll continue to keep an eye on it, right? So if we looked at this, okay, so we got this level correct. Okay. So now higher time frame, right? Try this out like so. Okay. And see what happens there. I want to take a look at this euro dollar. Okay. Everything's starting to stall out a bit, right? Is that dollar gonna hold support? We saw that DXY. Is it gonna hold support and find some strength? And then do we move back down at least in the short term? Right? So nothing doing there, right? We made a good run to the upside, and we want to see, right, if we get a correction and continuation, right? That's real. Look at those long wicks in this area. Okay. So we're definitely not buying nothing right now. Maybe we need something cleaner on the euro dollar. Let's take a look at this euro Swissy. All right, and that continued move to the upside. All right. Past support becoming future resistance. Are we gonna push beyond it, or are we gonna see another correction? All right. Or are we gonna see another correction off this level? Or do we blaze right through? We shall see. But nevertheless, market stay risk on. Swissy, right? Showing weakness. Continue to get a move to the upside is what I'm looking for. So it's just a matter of, do we blaze right through it, or do we see a correction and then a continuation? But I'm definitely looking to stay bullish on this Euro Swiss, right? Barring any type of risk off situation. Any questions on that Euro Swiss?
No, sir.
No? All right. Moving down, take a look at this pound Swissy. We've broken way out of that range, haven't we? Moving to the upside. Okay. So you all can see, right? Yes, we had the situation coming out of Japan as far as them holding their rates, but the larger picture to think about is that the market has been risk on. We've been risk on. And so you can see currencies like the yen and the Swissy are performing as well. Okay. So this is moving long on this pound Swiss. Didn't really get a deep pullback on that 4, right? But when you look at this 1-hour chart, smaller wave, pull back to our buy zone, and we're pushing long, right? Long way to that extension. But hey, Bank of England maintained their rates, didn't cut, right? We got some good data, some higher than expected data coming out of the UK. All right, we read about that this morning. UK retail sales and expectedly rise 1%. The expectation was 0.4%, so a little less than half. We came in at 1%, right? So we're looking pretty good right now. So look for pullbacks and continuations to the upside. Any questions over anything that we covered this morning? We've got this, everybody. Right? Plan your trade, trade your plan. Plan your trade, trade your plan. Ryan, anything before we close out, sir?
Bro, great session. Team, phenomenal. I want to say week, but it's actually been multiple weeks, right? These positions have been in preparation for a while. So kudos to you for continuing to dig in, continuing to focus, and as things continuing to evolve with it. So kudos to you guys, man. Been a great session, bro.
Appreciate it. Hey, everybody, enjoy the rest of your Friday. Hey, we'll be back here tomorrow. You know how we do. Saturday morning, prep work, Forex weekly ritual, so we can continue to have weeks like this. Have a great day, everybody.